Welcome to Customer Dynamics. Today, I'm going to walk you through velocity. In a manual dialing environment, agents spend too much time on work that doesn't create conversations. They dial numbers, wait through ringing, hit voicemail, and move between systems, just to complete one outreach attempt. Velocity changes that, by giving teams a structured way to manage contacts and build campaigns, automate outreach, track results, and stay compliant. Instead of relying on clunky manual processes, contact centers can run outbound engagement in a more controlled, measurable, and scalable way. Industry benchmarks commonly show that automated outbound dialing can meaningfully improve agent productivity by reducing idle time and connecting agents to more live conversations. Agent utilization can move from around 40 productive minutes in an hour with manual dialing to as much as 57 minutes with predictive dialing, a potential productivity lift of more than 40%. In this demo, we'll walk through the core areas of velocity and show how each one helps teams work faster, smarter, and with more control than manual dialing. We'll start in contact inventory. This is where teams can see the pool of contacts available for outreach, including which records are loaded, which contacts are available, and how much volume exists for future campaigns. Instead of managing spreadsheets or disconnected files, Velocity centralizes the inventory so campaigns can be built from a more reliable source of truth. Next are custom fields. Custom fields allow Velocity to store the specific information that matters to each campaign, such as account type, priority level, region, customer status, product interest, appointment date, or balance. This turns a basic contact record into actionable campaign data that can support targeting, routing, reporting, and personalization. Now we'll look at activity logs. Activity logs provide a clear history of what has happened with each contact, including outreach attempts, updates, results, and dispositions. With manual dialing, activity tracking can be inconsistent or incomplete. Velocity creates a more trusted record so teams can prove activity, understand outcomes, support compliance, and keep downstream systems aligned. Velocity also makes it easy to add, edit, or remove custom fields as business needs change. If a new campaign requires a priority score, a compliance field, or a new customer attribute, that field can be added into the contact structure. If a field is no longer needed, it can be removed or adjusted. This gives operations teams the flexibility to adapt the data model to the campaign instead of rebuilding spreadsheets or relying on manual workarounds. Next is contact management. This is where Velocity helps replace manual list handling. Contacts can be reviewed, updated, maintained, and prepared for campaigns from within the platform. That means less time spent cleaning up files, checking list versions, or manually updating contact details, and more time focused on customer engagement. Contact segmentation helps teams become more strategic with outreach. Instead of calling through one long list from top to bottom, teams can group contacts by priority, geography, campaign status, product, customer type, urgency, risk level, or previous activity. Manual dialing is often list-based. Velocity makes outreach strategy-based, helping teams focus on the right audience at the right time. Field mapping helps make sure imported data lands in the right place. When data comes from a CRM, CSV file, SFTP feed, or another system, fields like phone number, customer ID, consent status, campaign attributes, and custom fields need to map correctly. Accurate field mapping helps turn raw data into clean, usable campaign intelligence. Now we'll move into campaigns. This is where Velocity turns contact strategy into execution. Teams can define the audience, rules, schedule, dialing approach, and channels used for outreach. In a manual process, execution depends heavily on agents knowing who to call, when to call, what to do next, and how to log the outcome. With Velocity, that structure is built into the campaign itself, helping teams move from one call at a time work to repeatable, measurable outbound execution. Once campaigns are running, the campaign dashboard gives supervisors and managers visibility into performance. Leaders can monitor campaign progress, contact status, inventory, outcomes, and activity while the work is happening. Instead of waiting for reports or piecing together updates after the fact, teams can spot issues, adjust strategy, and understand what is working in real time. Communication profiles help define how outreach should happen. Different campaigns may require different timing, rules, cadence, or communication settings. By using communication profiles, teams can standardize outreach instead of relying on every agent to make those decisions manually. This helps campaigns run more consistently and stay aligned with the strategy. Velocity also supports digital channels, allowing teams to extend outreach beyond phone calls. SMS and email can be included as part of the engagement process, giving teams more ways to reach customers. Not every contact needs a phone call, and not every customer responds best by phone. Digital channels help expand reach while preserving agent time for live conversations. Digital profiles help manage the configuration and identity behind digital outreach. They support how digital messages are sent, organized, and governed across channels. Instead of managing digital outreach through disconnected tools, Velocity brings digital engagement into the same broader campaign framework. DNC, or Do Not Call Management, is a critical part of compliant outbound engagement. Velocity helps teams identify and suppress contacts that should not be called. In a manual dialing environment, compliance risk increases when agents work from outdated lists, disconnected spreadsheets, or incomplete suppression data. Velocity helps reduce that risk by making DNC management part of the campaign process. Connections allow Velocity to fit into the broader contact center and business ecosystem. This can include connections to telephony, CRM systems, data sources, reporting tools, or other operational platforms. The goal is to avoid creating another disconnected tool. Velocity connects campaign execution with the systems that hold customer data, activity history, and business outcomes. Finally, disposition mapping helps standardize the results of each outreach attempt. A contact may have answered, requested a callback, been unreachable, opted out, converted, or required follow-up. With Velocity, those outcomes become structured data that can support reporting, CRM updates, future campaign logic, and better overall campaign intelligence. Velocity is not just about dialing faster. It is about helping contact centers operate smarter. Compared to manual dialing, Velocity helps teams reduce wasted effort, increase agent productivity, manage contacts, segment audiences, execute campaigns, support compliance, engage across channels, and measure outcomes. When agents spend less time dialing, waiting, searching through lists, and manually logging activity, they can spend more time having productive conversations. Velocity turns outbound engagement from a manual process into a managed, measurable, compliant, and scalable operation.